Is David Benvdz, the man they called the Mexican Monster, actually running scared? It's a question that sounds ridiculous on the surface. We're talking about a fighter who just absolutely demolished Anthony Yarde in November, looking faster, stronger, and more terrifying than ever. The boxing world was ready. The fans were ready. The path was finally clear for the one fight that actually matters. Benvdz versus the undisputed light heavyweight king, Artur Beterbiev.
Who do you think poses the harder fight for you between Bivol and Beterbiev? Who presents the more difficult fight?
I think probably Beterbiev.
Yeah.
Because he's 14-0 with 14 knockouts, or 15-0 with 15 knockouts. The thing I see about him is a little bit different. It might be an easier way to beat him is that he's really flat-footed, but he has a lot of power.
Yeah.
The thing about Bivol, he's more of a complete fighter.
Right.
He can hit you from here, he can move here. You know, you can't hit him. He's moving. You know.
But then the pivot happened. Instead of walking through that open door to face the most dangerous man in the division, Benvdz took a sharp left turn. He announced he's moving up to cruiserweight to fight Gilberto Zordo Ramirez. And while some are calling this a brilliant move to capture a title in a third weight class, others aren't buying it. Veteran contender Lionel Lonnie B Thompson dropped a video on New Year's Eve that is tearing through the boxing community, and his message is brutal. He's warning Benvdz that this isn't a power move. It's a legacy killer.
But what about the one he's calling for? I'm not familiar with him at 200 pounds.
Zordo?
Yeah, Zordo, yeah.
Yeah, that's a good fight. He's been talking about that. He told me about that a couple years ago when I went to see him in Miami. So, yeah, I mean, he's been having his eyes on him for a minute.
What you think about Zordo?
Yeah, I think he could take him. That's the best fight, too, because Zordo started at 160, so he's not a natural.
Let's get straight to the heat of the accusation. Lonnie B isn't some casual fan tweeting from his couch. He's a pro who knows the game inside out, and his take on this cruiserweight move is that it's a calculated, safe play. On paper, fighting Zordo Ramirez sounds impressive. It's a chance for Benvdz to grab a belt at 200 pounds and add another accolade to his resume. But Lonnie argues that this is just a smokescreen to distract us from the fact that he is leaving the 175-pound division right when the heat is turning.
You know, there was a fight that you called, I know, it seemed like he beat him pretty easy. It was David Benvdz, the guy that you sparred, who demolished Yarde. I mean, the stuff he was doing in that fight. I mean, I don't know if some was legal, some not, but he destroyed him. Like, it was a pure ass whooping that night.
Yeah.
So,
like, no, a pure brutal ass whooping.
It almost was, not to take away credit from David, because it seemed a little uneventful, because he dominated him so easily that the only person that you felt that should be lined up with them next is Arthur.
Right.
So
all the fans who say I'm hating on David, you're a hater. David would kill Arthur. Blah, 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 blah. So can y'all please stop saying that? Because I thought that was the whole purpose of him moving up to light heavyweight, was to fight Beterb. Now, all of a sudden, I'm going to grow up to cruiserweight. I'm going to have 2 fights at light heavy. I'm going to go up to cruiserweight.
Technically 3.
What was the third? Oh, he had Volsnick, David Morrell. Oh, you're right, and Yarde.
Yeah.
Right. But I thought that was the whole point. And this is what I mean when I say fighters playing safe. I know they're going to kill me and they're going to hate me in the comments for this. But what I think David is doing is playing this safe. Not saying he's not a good fighter. Listen, David is a phenomenal fighter. They say I'm hating. But I was looking forward to him and Arthur next. I'm like, oh, now we get to see. Now we get to see if I was right. And that took me by surprise. He said, I'm going up to cruiser.
Here comes from the timing. Benvdz just came off a career-best performance against Yarde. He looked untouchable. When you look that good, the old-school mentality says you go straight for the head of the snake. You go for the top guy. By choosing Zordo, a fighter who is talented but widely considered less dangerous than the crushing power of Beterbiev, Benvdz is effectively freezing the biggest fight in the sport. The narrative shifting from undisputed glory to chasing a belt in a new division feels to many insiders like a strategic exit rather than a genuine challenge. This leads us to the darker part of the theory, the weaponization of time. We all know Artur Beterbiev isn't getting any younger. The Russian juggernaut has defied age for years, maintaining a knockout ratio that scares the life out of opponents. But biology is undefeated. Lonnie B suggests that Team Benvdz knows exactly what they are doing. They aren't just moving up.
what I think they're trying to do is wait Arthur out. Him and Bivol. I think they're trying to wait him out another year and a half, maybe 2, and then fight him and say, yeah, see, I beat him. But it don't count. It count, but it don't count because you ain't fighting when he was available to fight. He like, yo, let's fight me now. I'm gonna wait till you get a little older. Cause I'm not confident I can really beat you yet. So to make sure, man, like I said, Father of Time is undefeated. So what they doing is they throwing Father of Time in there. So, I mean,
yeah.
The accusation is that they are intentionally throwing Father Time into the ring as a tag team partner. By taking a detour to fight Zordo, then maybe defending that belt, or taking another tune-up, they push the Beterbiev fight back by another 12 to 18 months. The goal? To wait until Beterbiev slows down just enough, until the cracks start to show, so Benvdz can swoop in and claim he beat the legend without ever having to face the Prime Monster. It's a strategy we've seen in boxing before, marinating a fight until it's past its expiration date, and the fans are sick of it. They don't want to see Benvdz beat a 42-year-old version of the champ. They want to see who is the best.
Like, being a champion in a third weight class, right? And I'm with you. Like, I thought after that, when I heard the Zordo fight announcement, and I know Malik Scott, who trains them, thinks differently. He thinks they're going to be the ones that beat him. But I was really looking forward to the idea of him and Arthur next, because it seemed like Bill was injured, right? He needs to obviously come back play. Arthur and David, which everyone's entitled to think who would win that fight between David and Arthur, right? But that was the fight to make, and no shot to Zordo, right? No shot to Zordo. Maybe Zordo could shock the world, right? Because I'm sure he's the underdog going into that fight. But
of course he's the underdog.
But I was really a little upset when I heard the Zordo and not Arthur's name, because that was the fight where we really could see, what time it is.
Listen, that's all I'm saying. Listen. Now you tell me if they playing this safe. You let me know.
I mean, look, I was always pro David, and maybe there's a side that there was nothing.
No, Ryan, you don't get to do that, Ron. It's a yes or no. It's a yes or no.
I'm doing a long-winded answer. Let me do the long-winded answer, okay? Let me do the long political answer. Because I like David, right? I like David.
Okay, but you can like him, but tell the truth.
No, Lottie. Let me do the long-winded answer. I'm gonna do my long-winded anscer, okay?
Go ahead. I
like what he was standing for. He was always looking for the smoke, and it seemed like he couldn't get the smoke. And so it seemed like at that point, the availability of the smoke wasn't there. This is the first time I feel like the smoke is there. Like, you can make the smoke, right? Arthur's not titled with Bivol. The smoke seems like it's there. Why are we not getting that fight?
Massive identity crisis for the Mexican Monster. That nickname isn't just a cool marketing tag. It implies dominance. It implies fearlessness. Lonnie B was ruthless on this point. He laid down a simple rule. If you want to call yourself a monster, you have to go out there and beat other monsters. You can't claim that status while stepping around the biggest threat in the room. Lonnie pointed out a stinging comparison with Zordo Ramirez. Zordo has fought some serious competition, including Dmitry Bivol, yet nobody calls him a monster. He's just a top-tier fighter. Benvdz has the hype, he has the nickname, but if he avoids the Russian monster, that title starts to look hollow. There is a difference between being a great fighter and being a monster. A monster clears out the division. A monster doesn't look at Artur Beterbiev and say, I think I'll go try my luck at 200 pounds instead. If this fight doesn't happen, that nickname might start to feel like false advertising. What makes Lonnie B's perspective so damaging is that he has been in the ring with both of these guys. He has sparred Benvdz and he has sparred Beterbiev. He knows the difference in their pressure. He talks about the smoke that Beterbiev brings. A different kind of heaviness, a different kind of danger. When a guy who has felt that power tells you that Benvdz is making a mistake by avoiding it, you listen. But the most surprising piece of intel Lonnie dropped was about Beterbiev's mindset. Beterbiev is usually the quietest guy in the room. He doesn't trash talk, he doesn't post hype videos. But according to Lonnie, Beterb was actually interested in this fight. He wanted the challenge. He heard the monster talk and wanted to test it. That makes the avoidance look even worse.
I'm a little puzzled. I am a little confused. I would have to ask David why the Zordo fight is the one that is being the one you go for when it seems like Arthur's the one interested. So it led me to believe that Arthur might be the light heavyweight monster.
Yo, and my thing is this, Arthur never talked shit. You saw after the post, he said, yo, he actually said something. I'm like, oh, I was surprised, like, oh. So even Arthur was looking forward to it, like, yo, they say you a monster. They say you a monster. Like, let's go. And the fact that David didn't say nothing,
One thing if the champion is ducking you, but when the scariest guy on the planet opens the door and says, come on in, and you turn around and walk away. That is a look that is hard to recover from. We also have to talk about what we, the fans, are losing here. This isn't just about belts. A Benvdz versus Beterb fight had the potential to be this generation's Hagler versus Hearns. We are talking about a historic clash of styles, the relentless high-volume Mexican pressure versus the crushing, disciplined Russian power. It's a style matchup that screams fight of the year.
Yeah, David is a phenomenal fighter. I thought the whole point to move up was to fight Arthur. I mean, didn't you think that was the whole point of moving up?
I talked to him and he said he was on a path to face a Russian monster, and I was like, ooh, I can't even be mad at him. but I don't know. I don't know why the fighting happening. Someone has to ask him, and maybe there's more to it. But I was a little. Once again, I'm gonna watch the Zordo fight, and it sounds very disrespectful because we're gonna find out what Zordo can bring to David. And maybe I'm giving David a lot of credit because he hasn't fought at 200. Maybe that might be a little too much. But from how dominant he's looked, it just seems like stylistically he needs to face a fighter, which I know Zordo is supposed to be like that, but we know Arthur, by hands down, is just as mean, if not punches harder, if not does not take a step. And he's gonna not take a step back, and let's see if David can find him the back foot, and let's see if Arthur pushes him, right? So I'm with you, bro.
Stylistically wise, this is a legendary fight. This is Hagler Hearns.
Yeah. Yes.
Why can't we get it?
Russian, Mexican. I mean, bro, that is some pure pride, pure. Man, dude, I can't even think of a Russian Mexican fight that magnitude in my brain right now. That's
in
like
history. And the history.
I gotta Google this, man. I got a computer for me.
Yeah,
Russian.
I can't even in the history of the sport. That's what I'm saying. You can't call yourself a monster if you.
Lonnie B expressed genuine disappointment not just as a fighter, but as a fan of the sport. He talked about the pride involved, a Mexican monster versus a Russian monster. That is the kind of narrative that builds legends. It's the kind of fight that transcends weight classes and belts. By pivoting to Zordo, we are trading a potential classic war for a decent tactical matchup. Sure, Benvdz vs. Zordo is a good fight. It might even be an entertaining fight. But it's not the fight, and every day that passes, the window for that historic collision closes a little bit.
Someone got to ask him, because like I said, I've always been pro that, but this is the first time, like, where the smoke is lined up. It's not tied up. It seems like everybody, not just me, kind of just like how Canelo and David, everyone's like, yo, Canelo gotta fight David.
Fight him.
It's now David gotta fight Arthur, right?
Right.
So,
right. So for all the fans who say I'm hating and I hate David and all this, listen, I gave him his props, but like I told you, he ain't. I don't think he's a monster. I think he's a very good fighter. Monster?
He can still be a monster. It just.
And listen, in order to be a monster, you got to be a monster to be a monster. Like, I mean, that's just, hey, listen, that's just the school I'm from. Listen, maybe this new age boxing, you can beat 1 million Uber drivers and be called a monster. Like, and I'm not saying David beat Uber drivers. I'm just hypothetically speaking, guys. For guys who say David fought this person, David has fought some good opponents. Yes, he has fought some good opponents. Yes, double A. He has fought some good opponents. Yes, but what I'm saying is, you want to call somebody a monster, you gotta go out there and beat monsters.
Finally, Lonnie B hit Benvdz with a heavy history lesson referencing the career of Joe Calzaghe. Calzaghe was an incredible fighter who retired undefeated. He had all the belts. He had the 0 on his record. But Lonnie points out that Calzaghe is often left out of the greatest of all time conversations because of who he fought and when he fought them.
I'm with you on this, man. David and Arthur should have been the fight next. I'm a little puzzled. So if it's not me that gets an opportunity to talk, someone needs to ask him, why not the Arthur fight? What happened?
Right.
No disrespect to Zordo.
Zerdo's a phenomenal fighter too.
No disrespect to
listen, Zordo going down the Hall of Fame. What he 3-time world champion?
168.
He was Super 168.
175.
175. Cruiserweight.
So would you give David the benefit of doubt then? I guess for hardware, if he was a 3-time, or you're just like, nah, man, you gotta fight Arthur.
Yes, you got. Listen, because here's my thing. They never called Zordo a monster, and Zordo has fought the monsters. He fought Bivol. You know what I'm saying? He got some. He been there with some guys.
He got busy at 200.
His division at that time. So, but they don't even call him a monster. But David get the duck smoke, and we saying he a monster? Like, I mean, Ron, stop me if I'm wrong. Please tell me if I'm wrong. If you know what I'm saying? Listen, please correct me. But I'm going on, fighting. The hardware belts collect dust. Belts collect dust. I can give you an example. Look at who's Joe Calzaghe. He retired undefeated. Crushed everybody. Nobody bring him up there like he didn't even exist. Very good fighter. But nobody brings him up. Nobody mentioned him with the greats. And he retired undefeated.
That could be some American bias. I think Joe.
I think Joe Calzaghe is one of the best to ever do it.
Yeah.
But nobody ever mentions him. He beat Roy Jones. He beat Jeff Lacey. He beat Bernard Hopkins. Kessler, who was crushing everything at that time.
Yeah. He's solid, man. So
nobody brings. My point is, belts only collect dust. Like, if we going on greatness, who's gonna remember you 30 years?
Belts collect dust. 30 years from now, nobody is going to care that Benvdz picked up a strap at cruiserweight against Zordo. They won't care about the hardware sitting on his mantle. They will ask, did he fight Beterb? Did he fight the best when it mattered? If the answer is no, then all those belts won't save his legacy from having a giant asterisk next to it. Benvdz is risking becoming a paper legend, someone who looked the part, had the skills, but made business decisions instead of history. So where does this leave us? David Benvdz is clearly one of the most talented fighters on the planet. His destruction of Anthony Yarde proved that he is at the peak of his powers, but he is standing at a crossroads. One path leads to a safer fight, a new belt, and a guaranteed payday. The other path leads to the Russian monster, a 50-50 war, and a chance at immortality. Lonnie B has sounded the alarm. The fans are asking the tough questions. The Mexican monster nickname is on the line. Is Benvdz playing 4D chess with his career, or did he just blink in the face of the ultimate challenge? We'll find out soon enough, but one thing is certain. In the court of public opinion, the clock is ticking, and Father Time is watching. So, that's all from today's video. If you enjoyed it, remember to leave a like, subscribe, and ring that bell icon so you never miss our upcoming videos. And don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments section. Stay tuned, and we will catch you in the next video.